Wow!
Have you ever seen those goofy Roblox emotes on the Roblox marketplace when simply looking for clothes or the emotes themselves and wondered how the hell these creators make them? It must be difficult, right? Well, I'm sorry, you are wrong. Today I'm going to show you how to create Roblox UGC emotes, upload them to Roblox, publish them to the marketplace, and finally advertise them to get thousands on top of thousands of Robux. To start off, what you want to do is to head onto Roblox Studio, which you can download off of the Create tab on the Roblox website if you don't already have it. Then head to the New Experience button on the top left of the menu layout. Once you've clicked it, click on the Avatar tab in the top middle of the screen and click on the left character icon. Once it displays the Generate Rig screen, keep all the settings the same, but press the block avatar near the bottom. This will spawn your avatar that you will be animating your emote on. After that, click on the clip editor and now you can finally get started. Before we get started, there are a few things you have to know. This part is the torso, or the humanoid root part. This moves everything on the rig up and down, left and right, and if you rotate it, everything rotates, and if you move it, everything moves. This is the upper torso. This only moves the top part of your rig, which includes your arms, your upper torso, and your head. This part is your legs. If you select the top part of both legs, you can move the bottom area of your rig up and down. The arms and the head can move themselves, which won't move anything else. Now you are finally ready to start animating. Finally make your own animation. The first thing you want to do is you want to go to the timeline length at the bottom left corner in the animation editor and switch it to whatever you'd like. You can have it in between 1 and 15 seconds, but you cannot go lower or higher because that will not be allowed. I'm going to set it to 5 seconds so that I can successfully portray what I mean by creating an animation. Once I've done that, I'm going to select the torso and move it up by exactly 4 studs. You don't have to do this. This is just me making my own animation. Once I've done that, I'm going to rotate the torso by 45 degrees so that I'm diagonal. Then I'm going to rotate the upper torso by another 45 degrees so that the upper part of my body looks like it is floating straight. Then I'm going to rotate both of my arms down by 90 degrees so that it looks like they're hanging down. Then I'm going to rotate the bottom parts of both of the feet by 45 degrees to match the arms. Then I'm going to rotate the head of the rig by 45 degrees so that it looks like I'm realistically floating. Once I've done that, because I'm making this into a 5-second animation, I'm going to go to the 1-second timestamp in the animation editor. This is going to be the frame where the rig appears lower than it was before so that it has a floating effect. So I'm going to move it down by -1, and then move it forward by 1. Not -1 this time, just 1. This will make my rig look like it's 1 stud lower than it was before. Now that I've had the clip at the 1 second line, I can copy my first frame at 0 seconds. So what you want to do is you want to either right click, or if you're on a trackpad, click with 2 fingers and press copy selected. Then go to the 2-second mark and press Control V, or you can also simply paste it with the trackpad. Then what you want to do, because we already have the lower clip, the clip where the rig is lower, we're going to do the exact same process as with the clip at 0 seconds and copy it. Then go to 3 seconds and paste it. Do the exact same with the higher clip until you reach the end of your timeline. So I'm going to quickly complete the timeline by copying it and pasting it. So before I complete the timeline, I just want to show you what we have so far. So this floating animation looks good. The last thing I want to do is I'm going to copy the clip where I'm at the bottom and paste it at 5 seconds. This will complete a full loop so that it looks like I'm floating the entire time. That looks great. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press on this button right here. It says this will copy your keyframe sequence clip and convert it to a new curve animation clip. This is essential. Without this, you cannot publish any of your emotes. So you have to press on this, and you can always go back in the sense that you can see this exact timeline that you already have. But if you don't do this, it will not be allowed on the Roblox platform. So press confirm. Now you can go to the dope sheet editor, which is this editor, or you can switch to the curve editor. So now that you've got this entire clip, press this icon with 3 dots and press publish to Roblox. You can name it whatever you like, but because I'm going with a floating animation, I'm gonna call it Godly Floating Animation. Once you got the title, you can write whatever description you'd like. And you can change the creator to either you or one of the groups you've already made. If you don't know how to make groups, I'm probably going to make a video in the future on how to do them if this gets a certain amount of likes. Let's say 1,000 likes, and I'll make a video on how to make your own group on Roblox. So because I want the creator to be me, because my emotes previously have been made by me and I don't want to switch it around and deal with different types of finances, I'm going to choose me. Do not switch either delete local instances or create animation object in workspace. Those, just leave them alone and press save. The most crucial part of this is copying this ID up here. This will let you upload this to Roblox. So press the copy button. You can actually click anywhere here, but press the copy button and press close. Now, this is absolutely your choice. You don't have to do this, but in case you want to see if it works on all body types, you can press character and you can put your own avatar. Once you've created your own avatar, press these 3 dots over here and press import from Roblox. Here. And simply paste your animation ID and import it. Now you can officially see your emote on your own avatar. So I'm just going to test it to see if I like it and whatnot, which is great. And I forgot to tell you this earlier, but make sure that you press optimize keyframes and then publish to Roblox. Great. Let me just overwrite my existing. Great. Save. This will just keep your ID the same. You don't have to do anything after that. So once you've gotten your ID and you've seen that you've optimized everything, you've switched things to curve animations, now you are completely set to upload it to Roblox. So what you want to do is you want to go to the Explorer and press plus on the workspace button at the top. From here, look up animation, press enter or click on it, whatnot, and press on it. Now that you've pressed on here, you don't have to name it anything or anything. That was just a small glitch. Go down here to where it says animation ID in the properties tab. If you can't see the properties tab, all you have to do is press home and press properties. So once you're at the properties tab, that's what you have. Then enter in this animation ID space over here and paste your ID from earlier. It'll make sure to keep your ID like this. Once you got that, you can either right click or 2-finger click on a trackpad or right click on a mouse and press save and export or export to Roblox. This bit is also very important. So I'm going to optimize my title and whatnot so that it does well. My tips are to always name it something relevant that people can relate to and that gets searched up a lot. And in your description, don't add too many emojis or don't add too many links. Of course, you can add a link, but don't add too much so that Roblox's algorithm thinks that you're a scammer and doesn't give you any sales. So I'm gonna name it Godly Floating Animation Super OP. I'm going to create my description. Have you ever wanted to feel superior? Well, this is the perfect emote for you. And then I'm going to add the specifications. So where this can be used in any game with any avatar. And this is really controversial if you want to, but this usually gets more sales. What you can do, and I'm not saying you should, but I'm just going to do this for the video. You can write favorite for cheaper prices. But this is perfect. And then if you have any other emotes, you can always add in check other emotes on my profile, or if you're uploading it to a group, do check other emotes in my group and then your group name. And then once you've gotten all that and you're happy with your description, so I'm going to tweak it a little bit. And once I've gotten exactly what I need, then this is very important. You're going to need to press avatar item. Do not choose development item, choose avatar item. And in the asset category, scroll down to emotes. And this is true. A new version can no longer be created. So once it says validation succeeded, if there is an error message, it will usually tell you what it's about. But the common culprits are that you didn't change it to a curve animation. There's a button for that. Or your animation is moving too fast. So once you've accepted the asset category, emote, validation succeeded, creator, you or your group, and data sharing, you can choose if you want this on. I just keep it on because I don't know exactly what would happen if I turn it off. I've never turned it off, but I would keep this on or don't, your choice. And you're going to need for this entire process, and I know I should have told you this earlier, but in total, you're going to need 1,800 Robux. So 300 for uploading to Roblox, and then 1,500 to upload to the marketplace. And this is a good part. After a while, if you get enough sales, Roblox will give you their 30% cut, because usually on emotes, if you don't overcharge, if you charge base amount of Robux, which is usually 50 or so, then Roblox will take 70%. But once you've uploaded onto the marketplace, out of that 70%, Roblox will give you their 30% until you reach the 1,500 or 1,500 Robux that you spent to publish it to the marketplace. But these 300 Robux are simply for uploading it in general, not to the marketplace. Once you've uploaded it here, it's just private. And then later on, you can do that. And the best way to earn Robux is, of course, buying them. You can create shirts, you can use donation games, whatever you prefer. I already have the Robux because I made Robux from other emotes and other games. So that's good enough for me. But yeah, once you have the Robux, if you have 300 Robux, great. If you don't, make them or buy them. And you can press on the 300 Robux button. So once you've done that, that's completely perfect. You can either press on the creator dashboard button right here. It'll bring you to the creator dashboard, but I'm going to use my Google account because my browser is a bit different. So once you're in the create tab, go down to creations. From here, avatar items, animations, and here you can see that usually it shows that it's in review. If it's already been reviewed, good enough for you. That barely ever happens. But from here, you just have to wait a few minutes. Okay, so my emote has finally went through moderation. As you can see, there's a placeholder image, and I know it looks a bit weird, don't judge it, but my item name went through, my item description went through, and now it is finally time to get into uploading. So with the item attributes, you can choose either non-limited or limited. Limited costs a lot more to upload, and there's only a limited amount of them, but you're most likely to get sales. And non-limited is what I would recommend, which keeps the quantity to unlimited, and it doesn't cost more than it would usually. And for the pricing, I would not recommend pricing it above the price floor. I mean, you could if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it because majority of the people who are going to buy your emote are looking for a price that they can compete with other emotes. So I would keep it at 55 Robux because otherwise people are way less likely not to buy your emote. I would not change the do not price below unless you're really sure that you don't want it to go below a certain price, but I'm guessing in the future that it will probably go up from 55, not down. And this is really important, turn off regional pricing. Now, it might sound like something good, but from my experience, all it really does is it makes it less expensive in areas where people can't afford Robux as much as they can in the US and Canada. And in the US and Canada, it actually charges them more than in other regions. And that's problematic because you don't want your top two contenders for emote sales. Majority of the time, those are the top two contenders. You don't want those areas to buy your item less because it's more expensive. So keep the enable regional pricing off. And now we can go to sale location and revenue. Keep sell marketplace and sell and experiences on. These are your primarily two ways for you to get sales. For the sell and experiences, all this means is that if you make a Roblox experience and you display your items, you will get, instead of 30%, you're going to get 70% of the revenue from your emote. And otherwise, you'll also get sales from sell and experiences from catalog avatar creator, because that's where people can find your emotes and whatnot, and you're gonna get the same amount of Robux, but you get more exposure. So I would keep selling experiences on, I would keep selling marketplace on, and then we can go to experience locations. Keep all experiences on and do not turn on specific experiences because then it limits your reach as well. Now it's finally time to pay your publishing advance, which you will all recover in the future if your emote does well. I'm not going to pay right now, but because I'm trying to conserve my Robux for later on emotes. But once you press publish item, it will be on the marketplace, and now I can finally get started into how to advertise your emote and get sales. Alright, now that your email is live on the marketplace, it's time to get people to buy it. Your main platforms for advertising your email are going to be YouTube and TikTok. Personally, I prefer YouTube Shorts. I've found that the algorithm is more consistent than TikTok's, and it's generally easier to build steady momentum. For this video, I'm going strictly over how to optimize for YouTube Shorts, but if you want to cross-post to TikTok, you can absolutely follow these exact same step content rules, just skip the YouTube-specific settings. Now let's talk about niches and content styles. The key to successful advertising here is being subtle. You don't want your video to feel like a giant billboard. Instead, create funny shorts of you using your emote in-game to troll or even scare people. You could also make duo content with a friend where you both use it on camera. If you want to use the exact same style I use to build my channel, you can compile a simple collage of your emotes. Start with a quick 2 to 3 second hook. For example, my first 2 shorts use text overlays like best troll emotes on Roblox or craziest troll emotes on Roblox. This layout performed great for me and directly drove sales. If you're starting out with just one single emote, you can tweak the text to say best troll emote instead of emotes, and add a little wait till the end caption at the bottom of the screen to maximize your audience retention. After the hook, showcase the emote and close out with a clip of you using it live game. Now for the publishing side, it's a bit more complex on YouTube because metadata matters. For your title, keep it very simple and relevant to the video. Asking a question in the title is also an amazing way to spark engagement in the comments. You can absolutely use emotes to catch people's eyes, but don't overdo it. Too many emotes in the title can look like spam to the algorithm. Right after the title, you need to add hashtags. Optimizing these can generate an extra 10% of your total views. For Roblox emotes, I highly recommend using #Roblox, #emotes, #Roblox emotes, #trend, and then maybe one adjective describing your emote. Stick to a maximum of 4 to 5 hashtags in total so that the algorithm doesn't get confused. As you scroll down the upload settings, make sure to select not made for kids, and right under that ensure it says don't restrict my videos to 18+. This is extremely important. It ensures that your content doesn't get buried in the restricted YouTube Kids app, but also doesn't lock out your actual target audience by age restricting it. Under the Show More section, you'll see an option for altered content or AI use. Make sure to select No, since this is organic Roblox gameplay. As for video tags, you can completely leave those blank because the algorithm relies way much more on your title, description, and hashtags these days anyway. Finally, select a clean thumbnail frame on the top left if you're using mobile. Change your visibility from private to public, and you're completely ready to launch. For the best results, I recommend posting between Friday and Monday rather than midweek, aiming for a window of 10 a.m. PST to 3 a.m. PST. This hits peak free time hours for the player base that we're targeting. Hit post and let the algorithm do its thing.